Hey, it's only me.
Before we get started, here are the trigger warnings.
Let's get you a great night's sleep. I've struggled with my mental health for a long time, and I have tried everything. If you're anything like me, sleep is almost impossible. It took me a long time to make this list of things that you can do to dramatically improve your sleep. First, let's talk about herbal remedies. Yeah, don't waste your money. That didn't work for me at all. I mean, try them. Maybe they'll work for you. That's great. They did not work for me. It was a waste of money. I kind of wish I wouldn't have even bothered. I just feel like herbal remedies and sleeping pills are just not going to work for people like us. They just don't work. What's the point in having a sleeping pill if you're going to be exhausted the next day? That's all it did. It just made me tired during the day. It didn't help at all because I'm tired during the day anyway. That's what I'm trying to avoid here. There are some things you can do to set yourself up for a great night's sleep during the day. Firstly, watch that caffeine intake. I'm really not one to talk because I'm literally drinking coffee right now. Try to only have your coffee in the morning and limit how much you have. They say 2 cups is all you need, and really if you have any more, it's just making you jittery. That does not stop me. I like the jitteriness apparently. I always have more than 2. I can't help it. I'm so tired. And the thing is, life doesn't stop because you're tired. Life doesn't stop because you have PTSD and can't sleep. And life doesn't stop if you have anxiety or something on your mind. You have to push yourself to move on and get on with your day. Even if you're more tired when you woke up than when you even went to sleep, you have to push on. So do what you have to do. I totally see you and I totally get you. I have had a very important meetings during the day and I have really drenched myself in coffee, but it really does set you up for a terrible night's sleep that night. So just realize you're giving up 2 nights sleep. It's a tough decision. I've done it. I get ya. Drop this. Am I allowed to say that? Drop the Seattle-based coffee. It's the worst thing you can say to people who are exhausted, isn't it? Try to give up the one thing that's really helping you. So no, don't give it up. But I think for me, I can't easily overdo it on caffeine and it just sets me up for another terrible night's sleep, and it can become a cycle. I would say try not to have coffee in the afternoon. That really affects my night's sleep. So don't overdo it and just chuck that coffee. I know I'm lame and I will laugh at myself. Take magnesium supplements. I cannot stress this enough. It's not a miracle pill. You're not suddenly gonna drop off in 2 seconds and stay asleep all night, but it definitely significantly improves your quality of sleep. It made it to where I could drop off quicker and stay asleep longer. A lot of people are really deficient in magnesium, especially people with PTSD. I read that somewhere, so I don't know if that's 100% true, but I think that it is true because if I'm having a really bad, oh my goodness, how loud is that? Okay, this is the kind I use. So loud. How loud is this? This is the kind of magnesium I use. I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to say a specific brand, but you'll recognize the bottle, hopefully. Just look for this bottle. It's magnesium citrate. There are different kinds of magnesium and they are not all created equal. I take 2 tablets and that's 400 milligrams unless I take a multivitamin, and then I only take 1. But you should be topping up your magnesium. Even if you take a multivitamin and you think you're like quite healthy, it's really hard to get a ton of magnesium in your diet and a lot of people are deficient. It is worth a try, definitely. Also, you don't have to take magnesium in a pill form. You can try sprays, flakes in the bath. You can do like a foot bath with it. I think I even have some in lotion form. I mean, just get that magnesium in however you can. It doesn't have to be a pill. Of course, I would never advise you to take more than the daily recommended amount. But if I'm having a really tough day with lots of flashbacks, I have taken 1 extra pill and I'm telling you, it really helped me. But obviously I would never suggest that you take too much, and it can cause digestive upsets if you overdo it. But yeah, sometimes I've been low, and I'm telling you, it helped me. It helped me a lot more than I thought that it ever could. Obviously, do your own research and talk to your healthcare provider to see what's appropriate for you. Believe it or not, I'm not a doctor. So I actually was assaulted while I was in bed before. It's not easy. And I find sleep really difficult, and the whole sleep environment and the whole sleep situation, it's just so triggering for me. So sleep actually is really hard for me. But I found a routine that works so perfectly, and stick around to the end because actually my last part of my sleep routine is the key. I'm telling you, I've never experienced anything like it. So because I was assaulted in my sleep before, I find normal sleep aids impossible to use. So people have said to me before, like, why don't you try a sleep mask? What? No, I could never have a sleep mask. That would make me feel so unsafe. If anything happens, you cannot see. How triggering is that? No, so I can't do that. Earplugs, the same, and I have a family, so you kind of need to be able to hear your children. But even if not, I couldn't do that because then I couldn't hear anything. No. I did find when I was younger, I could actually fall asleep really, really easily watching something that I've watched on TV before. But unfortunately, the thing with sleeping with the TV on, it seems great for falling asleep, but then it would wake me up in the night because it would be like lights flashing and noise, and it was like a catch-22 situation. Because I really needed help falling asleep, but I also needed to stay asleep, and it helped me fall asleep, but it definitely woke me up loads in the night. I couldn't relax and quiet my mind, but I found listening to a familiar story, one that I felt safe listening to, really, really helped me to just drop off. So after 20 years, I finally found a sleep routine that really works for me. Okay, let's kick off my sleep routine. Firstly, if you're anything like me and you've had loads of trauma in your past, you have gotten used to not paying attention to how your body physically feels. This might sound so strange to the average person, but it is a real thing for people who've experienced trauma to kind of disconnect from their body and how their body feels. So for me, that means I could be laying in bed, tossing and turning and thinking, oh, why can I not fall asleep? And I am literally in an uncomfortable position. My body's not comfortable, and I just didn't even realize. So what I needed to do was probably take a painkiller if my back or hips or something was hurting, or move my body into a neutral, comfortable position. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure you're comfortable. Not too hot, not too cold, not in a wonky position with your neck all sideways. And if you're anything like me, you've totally done this. I'm guilty of this all the time. Actually, I'll do a video on that because it is kind of a weird thing that maybe the average person doesn't go through. Next, just pray, relax, meditate, or think about your day. Take some deep breaths to get the frustrations of the day away. This sounds lame saying it out loud, so I'm sorry, but I like to think about the deep breaths as blowing away all the frustrations and like things that happen during the day. So I just do like and I just like imagine that I'm blowing all the anger away and all the just rubbish that happened to me that day. If it helps you, count to 4 on the in breath and then 6 to 8 on the out breath. Sometimes if I'm really stressed, I can only do 6, but if you can do 8 on the out breath, that's great. I usually do 2 deep breaths, but just do whatever's comfortable for you. Okay, we're gonna get really cliche here on this one, but imagine yourself in a happy place. So for me, I imagine myself lying on a warm beach, and the sun is shining, but I'm laying in the shade, and it's really hot, but with a nice cool breeze. So whatever's best for you, you imagine, but for me, it's gonna be lying on that gorgeous beach. You realize how tense you actually are in those moments when you just actually think, ooh, I'm lying on the beach, and you're suddenly like, oh, I'm lying on the beach, I'm like comfortable and relaxed, and you realize how much you've been holding in your shoulders, I think, at that point. So for me, that really, really helps me to relax. Lastly, think of the plot of your favorite book. Now this is key. I'm telling you, if you do nothing on this list, just listen to this one point. Think of the plot of your favorite book, every detail that you can, and keep it the same every night. We're trying to create a feeling of calm predictability. It took me about a month to really get into this. It's weird at first, you feel dumb doing it at first, but try it. Be consistent for a month, and I'm telling you, it will change your life. I never get far into my book without completely zonking out. I'm telling you, it's just like something about it. I can just go to sleep straight away.